The north wind carried more than snow that winter. It carried whispers of a white bear who walked like a man and spoke like one too. The villagers told stories by firelight, of a creature seen in the woods when the moon was sharp and low, of footsteps too heavy for wolves. In a cottage at the edge of the forest lived a poor woodcutter and his daughter Solveig, whose name meant strength of the sun. She was clever, patient, and a little restless, as though some part of her heart already belonged to the horizon. One night, as frost painted the windows and the air hummed with silence, there came a knock at the door. When the woodcutter opened it, snow swept in, and behind it, the white bear. He stood tall, fur like new snow under moonlight, eyes deep as winter rivers. His voice, when it came, was calm and vast. "If you give me your daughter," he said, "I will make you rich beyond need. Your home will never hunger again." The woodcutter looked at his daughter with a heart full of both fear and longing. Solveig, though startled, met the bear's gaze without flinching. "If I go," she said quietly, "it will be by my own choice." And so she went. The white bear led her north through forests so still they seemed carved from time. Days blurred into pale silver. They came at last to a mountain whose face was smooth as glass. Inside, lit by hundreds of lamps, lay a castle of crystal and ice. The walls breathed faintly, as if alive. Solveig was given a warm room, soft clothes, food that shimmered with frost and flavor. But each night, when the lamps dimmed, someone came to her bed, a man whose face she could not see, for the darkness was complete. His voice was gentle, his hands warm. "Do not fear," he said. "Do not light a lamp." So she did not. Through days of silence and snow, she grew used to the rhythm of that place, the bear by day, the stranger by night. And though she had not seen his face, her heart began to know it. But longing, like frost, finds every crack. When spring threatened the edges of the world, Solveig asked to visit her family. The white bear agreed, but warned, "Stay no longer than you must, and speak nothing of what you have seen." At home, her mother greeted her with tears and questions. The gold and silver gifts the bear had given filled the cottage, but the mother saw only what was missing. "You live with a beast," she said. "You share his bed and know nothing of him. What if he is not a bear at all, but a troll or something worse? Light a candle one night and see what you truly married." Solveig's heart twisted. She loved her mother, but doubt had a stronger voice than faith. When she returned to the mountain, her hands trembled as she hid a candle beneath her pillow. That night, when the stranger came, she waited until his breath deepened, then lit the flame. The light trembled and revealed not a monster, but a man. He was beautiful in a way that belonged to forgotten things. Eyes like thawed ice, a face both fierce and kind. But before she could even touch him, a drop of wax fell onto his shoulder. He woke. "What have you done?" he whispered, pain shadowing his voice. "If you had waited one more month, the curse would have broken. Now I must go, east of the sun, west of the moon, where no human hand can reach me." And then he was gone. The castle crumbled around her like snow in sunlight. Solveig found herself alone on a dark, frozen hill. She cried until her tears turned to ice. Then she rose, wiped her face, and began to walk. If love could be broken, it could be found again. She walked until her shoes split and her voice cracked. She climbed cliffs and crossed rivers so cold they stole her breath. When she could go no farther, she called out to the winds. The north wind came first, vast, ancient, his breath sharp as knives. "I have carried many things," he rumbled, "but never a heart so stubborn. You cannot reach the castle where he lies. It is beyond my sky." "Then take me as far as you can," she said. He laughed, a sound like thunder over ice. "Hold tight." He lifted her into the storm, carrying her across mountains and seas, over tundra and aurora. The world below blurred to streaks of white and blue. When his strength finally broke, he laid her down on the edge of the world. "Farther than this," he gasped, "no wind can go. You are on your own." Before her stretched a plain of glass and light. There, shimmering faintly in the distance, stood a castle, not of stone or snow, but of dawn itself. Solveig walked until her reflection followed her more faithfully than her shadow. At the castle gate, 2 trolls guarded the entrance, tall, gray, eyes dull as ash. They laughed when she begged entry. But in her hand she still carried one golden hair from the white bear's fur, kept from the night she left. When she held it up, it glowed with light so pure it burned the trolls' eyes. They shrank away, cursing, and she passed through. Inside she found a hall filled with strange music and stillness. At the center lay the white bear, no longer bear, not yet man, trapped in sleep, a crown of ice on his brow. A troll queen stood beside him, her beauty cold and cruel. "Who dares come here?" the queen hissed. Solveig stepped forward. "Someone who has already lost everything," she said, "and therefore fears nothing." The troll queen smiled, amused. "Then win him back if you can. Spin wool into gold by dawn." The queen left her alone with a pile of tangled thread and the faint heartbeat of the man she loved. Solveig set her jaw and began to spin. Her fingers bled, but the gold came, thread by thread, breath by breath. When the first light touched the windows, the queen returned and saw what Solveig had made. The gold glowed warm, alive. "You have done what none have done before," the queen said, trembling. "He is yours." And with a scream like cracking glass, she vanished. The crown of ice shattered. The white bear opened his eyes. The curse melted from him like winter leaving the world. He looked at her and smiled as if waking from a dream that had taken years. "You found me," he whispered. "East of the sun," she said softly, "and west of the moon." They journeyed home together through skies and snows, through wind and silence. When they reached the forest where it all began, the world had changed, but so had they. No gold, no magic, only the truth that love had weight enough to outlast distance and doubt. And sometimes, when the north wind blows just right, it carries the faint sound of laughter over the hills, the kind of laughter that belongs to people who have seen the edge of the world and chosen to come back.